If you have ever stood in a canyon and shouted, you know what happens next. Okay, we've all done it as kids, heck, even as adults. That sound comes back again and again, and it comes with a diminishing reverberation. So long after the original voice is gone, you still hear it. That's what happens after divorce. The divorce papers are signed, the court date is ended, the voice stops ringing, the arguments stop, but those echoes remain. The valley has a way of holding on to these voices. Some echoes are memories. Some echoes are wounds, and still others are lies. And if we're not careful, we begin believing the echoes that they're the voice of God. So today I want to talk about these echoes and the reverberated things that happen through that valley of divorce. Because many of us have been listening to them for years. I know I have. They did a lot of damage. So some people hear the echo of their former spouse. Nobody else will want you. You weren't enough for me. You ruined everything. The marriage ended years ago, but these words, they're still bouncing off these walls like a ping pong ball in a dryer. And some of these echoes are maybe they're church people. Those were some of my echoes. Well, if you'd prayed harder, if you'd been submitted and obedient more, if you've been a better wife, or this is one of my favorites, if you'd only tried to win them without a word. These words have been spoken once, but that echo will keep repeating. Some people even hear the lies that are told to their own children. Your mom doesn't love you. Your dad abandoned us. You are just like your mother. These children become trapped in this cavern of echoes that they never created. And others hear the echo of their own shame. The enemy doesn't even need new lies because he really just simply replays these old ones over and over. And the valley of divorce becomes a huge amplifier. So there's one memory that echoed in me for decades. And this was, I was still married. This was around the same time. Gosh, I can't even remember the year. It's been a long time. So this is the night that my now former husband stood in front of our congregation and he had to repent for something. And as an obedient and supportive, submitted wife, I stood behind him. Now, I hadn't committed the betrayal. I hadn't created the devastation. Yet there I was being submitted and obedient. And I was standing in front of hundreds of people. And I can still remember their faces, the stares, the shock, some of them even the horror. And my whole world collapsed that night. But I didn't have time to feel it or process it because I had children to care for. I had a home to rebuild. I had a future to somehow create out of the rubble that I was left sitting in. And I remember thinking, I have got to hold it together. And I did. But what I didn't realize was that that pain that I delayed was not pain denied. It just sat there and became stale. The grief waited. The loss waited. The humiliation, it waited. And that echo remained. And years later, that cavern came back to haunt me in the form of depression. And that valley repeated what I never had time to process.